biggest news that happened this week was that Jurgen Klopp announced his departure from Liverpool Football Club at the end of this season. Why is he choosing to leave, and why did he choose now to announce it? And to give a simple answer, he simply just doesn't have the energy to continue his elite management for the club. Like I said before, he's been thinking about this decision for a while, since November, and he wanted to tell the fans and supporters of Liverpool Football Club himself before any media or any other sources leaked the information. It says here in the article from The Athletic that Klopp informed the owners John Henry and Tom Werner about his decision to leave, and they knew there was no changing his mind. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about another job position being lined up, but it was just Klopp needing a break from the expectations of elite management. And as painful as it is to the owners, to the club, and to the supporters, everybody supports his decision. Klopp has won many things for Liverpool. Their first Premier League in 30 years. Their first Champions League in God knows how long. FA Cup and Carabao Cup. He has won it all in England. So he will be considered a legend of the club. And he even said that even if he does return to management, he will not be coaching any club in England other than Liverpool out of respect. He said it is impossible for him to be managing another club in England that isn't Liverpool. So what is that going to mean for Liverpool next season? So since his announcement that he will be stepping down as head coach, the club are taking initiative now to look for their next manager. And the top contender, at least the fan favorite for this position, is Xabi Alonso. Obviously, Xabi Alonso has been catching the eye of everyone in football, not just Liverpool supporters, due to his recent success with Bayern Leverkusen, so far leading them to an undefeated season in the Bundesliga. As of today, Saturday, January 27th, is 2 points above Bayern Munich. Xabi Alonso did comment on these rumors and said that he is solely focused on Bayern Leverkusen this season. Do you think that Xabi Alonso is the best man for the Liverpool job? There are high expectations for this position, especially after the legacy that Klopp has left for Liverpool 2.0. Do you think Xabi Alonso can make Liverpool 3.0 a success? Let me know in the comments down below. If not, let me know what manager you would like to see at Liverpool next season. Staying in England, but heading down the pyramid, we go to League 2 to Grimsby Town. This is sadder news compared to everything else that we'll be covering in this video. If you haven't heard, 16-year-old Cameron Walsh tragically lost his life earlier this week in a car accident. Cameron Walsh was part of Grimbsy Town Football Club, like I said, in League 2, who have reached in the 4th round of the FA Cup, beating the likes of Shrewsbury Town, South Shields, and Nottingham Forest. Grimsby had a match against Millwall in the round of 16, but right before that match, both Cameron and his father Dave were involved in a car accident where they both tragically lost their lives. Cameron was loved and adored by his teammates and the club. To honor him, they made t-shirts with his image to warm up before games. Cameron has been involved in the Grimbsby U18s and has grown up with a lot of the players that currently play for the U18s and the first team. He's attended school with these players. They just went up the ranks together. This is very sad for Grimsby Football Club and its community. My thoughts are with Cameron's friends, family, teammates, and all other loved ones during this difficult time. Feel free to express your condolences in the comments down below for young Cameron, who had so much potential in the professional football world. Now that we've all expressed our condolences for Cameron and his loved ones, let's stay in England and in the FA Cup, just move further down the pyramid. So let's shift gears and show the magic of the FA Cup by going down to the National League South and to Maidstone United. They have become the talk of the town after their recent FA Cup victory against Championship side Ipswich in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Maidstone United are led by head coach George Elokobi, who could not contain his excitement over the 2-1 victory against the Championship side. After this win against Ipswich, this completes a hat trick of giant killings. They've beaten already Barrow and Stevenage to now be in the 5th round of the FA Cup for the first time in their 127-year history. In that game, Ipswich registered 38 shots compared to Maidstone's 2. Maidstone's goalkeeper Lucas Galovan, who is a former Brazilian youth international, made very crucial saves to help Maidstone get their 2-1 win. Elokobi said that he signed the goalkeeper 48 hours before the deadline day, and now he is the most crucial player on the team. The magic of the FA Cup is still alive and well, and now we just have to wait to see who Maidstone will face in the 5th round of the FA Cup. How deep in the competition do you think Maidstone will get? Let me know in the comments down below as well. Now let's pivot to some transfer talk that's happened this week. So the biggest transfer news this week is that Kalvin Phillips secured a loan move to West Ham United. As reports say, West Ham United have secured a loan deal for Kalvin Phillips from Manchester City with no option to buy, just a straight-up loan until the end of this season. So this move is very crucial for Kalvin Phillips because he wasn't getting a lot of game time at Man City. So this move to West Ham should secure his place, or at least give him the minutes that he deserves. Ever since his arrival at Manchester from Leeds United in 2022, he's only played in 16 games and only making 2 starting appearances. As for West Ham, this is a big move for them as they really needed to solidify their midfield after the sale of Declan Rice. Ever since they sold Declan in the summer, they did bring reinforcements such as James Ward-Prowse and Edson Alvarez, but bringing in Kalvin definitely bolsters the squad a lot more. Do you think this will be a good move for Kalvin Phillips, and do you think if he performs well at West Ham, will he be accepted back in City as a starting player? And I would say the second biggest signing this week is made in Spain in Atletico Madrid. This is the signing of young 18-year-old Arthur Vermeuren. This young defensive Belgian midfielder has played in his home country all his life, up until his $30 million move to Atletico Madrid. It is said that this kid is going to be the next Frankie de Jong and one of the best center midfielders in the world. Have you heard of him, and do you think he will live up to that hype? And the last big transfer for this week is Ivan Rakitic going to Saudi Arabia. Rakitic says his goodbyes to his teammates in Sevilla as he signaled a move to Al Shabab. The 35-year-old has been a strong presence for the Sevilla club, serving as the vice captain for the entirety of his time there. Sevilla were open to discuss his exit to manage the wage bill more effectively. This will be a huge loss for Sevilla as they are fighting for relegation in La Liga, having only won 3 games out of 21 this season. They currently just sit 1 point above the relegation zone. Sevilla are also having a lot of coaching problems this season. I can make an entire video on that. What do you think about this transfer, and what do you think about Sevilla's situation? Do you think they'll get relegated? Is this where they should be, and how do they get out of this funk? Let me know in the comments down below. Lastly, in this third chapter of this video, we're going to be talking about women's football. More specifically, for this first part, we'll be talking about the Rubiales case. Former Spanish Federation President Luis Rubiales is confirmed to face a 3-year ban from any and all football activities, according to FIFA, after his appeal has been dismissed. For those of you who don't remember, Rubiales kissed a female player after the World Cup final. Spanish prosecutors have filed a lawsuit against Rubiales for sexual assault, which was recommended to go to trial. So that trial is still to be heard, but his ban is confirmed for 3 years. Shifting to the WSL, we have Manchester United midfielder Jill Roord, who will be sidelined with an ACL injury after a game against Manchester United. Unfortunately, this injury could see Jill out for the rest of the 23-24 WSL season and could potentially miss the 2024 Olympics this year. Jill is added to the list of very high-profile players in the women's game who has received ACL injuries, and it seems to be a common trend in the game where big superstars are receiving this terrible injury. In last year's Ballon de Feminine, there were 5 nominated women players who had an ACL injury. Chelsea Sam Kerr also received one earlier this month that will see her out for the rest of this season, which is a great transition to this next point. So because of Sam's injury, Chelsea have had to sign a new striker. And they did so by breaking the world transfer record in the women's game by signing Colombian 24-year-old Mayra Ramirez. Ramirez is joining from Levante for a record fee of 450,000 euros, plus an extra 50,000 euros for goals and add-ons. She has helped Levante get second place in La Liga Femenine last year behind Barcelona and has now secured a 4.5-year deal with the reigning champions in the WSL. So this will wrap up this weekly roundup video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. and I'll see you all in next week's weekly roundup.